This is Daily Dose of Daryl, Viewer's Digest from the Peebles Motivation Bureau, bringing you something positive, personal, and professional every day. This is Season 3, Episode 11, December 18th through 24th, 2023, entitled Priceless Gifts. When I took this photograph years ago in the town where I was born, there had been a flood of Moore's Creek. The annual nativity tradition there for decades has been a highlight, and so beautiful in its pastoral setting. The flood presented quite a different look. I never thought I would be sharing this photograph years later on a thing called Daily Dose of Daryl. However, it looks to me like it's appropriate for this week's thoughts and meditations. Several funny things came to my mind. For instance, Casper, do you think maybe we should have turned right instead of left back at the last cactus plant? Or Melchior, when I said I was thirsty out here in the desert and I asked you to pray for water, I really didn't know that your prayer life was that strong. Or perhaps maybe, do you think maybe I should come up front and be the lead camel now? Or, I know these gifts we have are special, but do you think maybe we should have called Amazon for delivery? I have 7 gifts for you this week, but not the kind you put in a box or wrap with paper. They're not even available in stores or through online shopping, but are actually priceless. There is no return policy, and they simply increase in value when you share them with others. Be enriched, enjoy them, and celebrate. Monday. The first gift this week is the quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless to their chosen field. Think about the words in this statement, quality, not quantity. So much of today's world is based on trying to help us live longer, but sometimes not better. The quality, though, the quality of a person's life is in direct proportion. Now, that's a key as we move on in this statement. It's in direct proportion. That means if you punch here, it goes there. If you move here, it goes there. Whatever you do on one side of an equation affects the other. The old-timey teeter-totter on the playground where if this guy pushes up, the other one goes down. So that's the kind of direct proportion that we're talking about with commitment. Commitment means desire, but more than desire, willingness to work, pursue, persevere. It's a real dedicated movement toward a commitment to excellence. Now, no one's perfect. And that's one of the first lessons we must learn is we're not perfect. Commitment to being better every day to move toward excellence regardless of the chosen field. Basically, whatever you do, wherever you are, whoever you are, what your endeavors are, getting to know perhaps the janitor or the food service person, because oftentimes they're overlooked, but they're many times the most important person in any kind of endeavor. Doesn't matter what you are or what you choose to do. From my faith perspective, there's a scripture that went something like this: whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. To me, that always meant no matter what you were doing, whatever level they put it on, it's do it the best you can as if it's a gift to the Lord, like the Magi bringing the gifts to the Lord, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The quality of your life will be in direct proportion to your commitment to excellence, regardless of whatever you're doing. Tuesday. The next gift means simply, some things take time. That's a great gift to have and to know, to have that knowledge in our brain. You know, back in 2017, we did a world tour, and it was designed to recognize and honor and entertain people who serve out of love all around the world, and to point out how we are so much alike. We have so many things in common, and basically most people around the world are pretty good. We all have flaws. We're not perfect, but we have a lot more in common than we do in things that are different. Now, the one thing that I noticed particularly on that journey was old things. No, not just me looking in a mirror around the world. Although I've noticed that the quality of mirrors nowadays seems to be going down. They used to be so much better. Okay, away from the humor just a minute. All right, so it was old buildings and like cathedrals in most of the major cities had at least one amazing cathedral. And these took not a few weeks or months or years or even generations, many generations. Some were over 600 years old and they were still working on them. They weren't quite complete yet. I realized that to have something valuable, worthwhile in our lives, we have to be willing to take the time to do a little bit every day and continue to improve every day and to add to our legacy every day and continue to grow every day. And that just takes time. So, your gift today on this Tuesday is to remember, take time. Take time for some of those great things to continue to develop in your life. Wednesday, our gift is courtesy is the oil that lubricates the machinery of communication, that ensures that the gears of interaction turn smoothly and efficiently. Wow, do we need that today? Certainly. Much like oil in a complex engine, courtesy plays a crucial role in maintaining the delicate balance of human interaction, fostering understanding, and preventing unnecessary friction. That really is much of the problem today. A lot of the friction is unnecessary. A lot comes from misunderstanding. Politeness, empathy, and tact are essential components of courtesy. They work together to create a harmonious environment where people feel heard and valued. It becomes a two-way street where each participant can share their agendas with the others. It goes back and forth. Courtesy extends beyond spoken words, like nonverbal cues are there and body language. And, just even opening the door for someone at the post office is certainly a kind gesture that helps that day for that person. When they came out with the automatic doors, I thought, wow, one less way that we can help others. But they still left a couple down there so we can open them for other people. Professional settings need it too, especially vital there, to create positive working relationship. In a broader context of society, courtesy fosters a sense of community and understanding. You have diverse individuals, diverse cultures, diverse perspectives, and all of these have their values. But where they come together, like the gears on a wheel, that's where courtesy helps them fit together better and run smoothly. Without the oil and machinery, unwelcomed noise. So remember, your gift today is not only to receive courtesy and enjoy it, but to be one that shares courtesy out into the machinery of life. Thursday, our priceless gift is to remember that everyone you meet is afraid of something, loves something, and has lost something. It doesn't matter if they're high-level government people, a celebrity, or the doorman at the hotel, whatever it might be, whatever position of life. Everyone you meet has this in common. You see, it's universal because we're human. We're human beings. So remember that everyone you meet is afraid. They have their fears. Some people are afraid of actually meeting you or meeting other people. And some people are afraid to go outside. Some people are afraid to be alone. But everyone has some fear in their life. And then everyone loves something. It might be a person, it might be an adventure, an experience, it might be some kind of food. And so that is a very special and tender part of their life. So remember that when you meet someone, not only do they have fears and loves, but also they have lost something. Now, I'm not talking about simply losing my keys, but that's something probably all of us have in common. At some point, we've lost our our keys are nowadays our cell phone or device. But what I'm talking about is they have lost something that was special to them or someone. It could be a relative, a friend, or it could be just the ability to do something that they used to could do. Now, I am so glad that we are given memories because I can remember running fast, leaping high, throwing far, and now that is a memory. Now I'm just trying to remember, how do I get up out of the chair, right? Aren't we all sometimes to that point? But this priceless gift we have is to know this and to carry it with us throughout the day. So when you meet someone, know that they're not that immediate facade that you see in front of you. But remember that that person, no matter who they are, they have their fears and they need some encouragement and reassurance from you. And that person loves something and they need you to affirm that and to help them be able to do that more fully. That person has lost something and they are grieving and they need you to help them in that journey of grief. So that is a priceless gift. Let's carry out into the world today as we go forth to meet people. Remember this. Friday, our next priceless gift is, remember that no matter how dark it gets, light is always available. The Hebrew people were looking for a Messiah to come and set up a new kingdom and expected this person to come riding in as a knight in shining armor to overthrow the Roman Empire by force, take matters into their own hands, and abandon trust in God and have a great overthrow. Then Jesus arrived on the scene. Jesus, an example of light in darkness, showcased a transformative approach to conflict, choosing kindness over wrath. He turned away anger with compassion. In the face of adversity, he embraced the principle of turning the other cheek, rejecting brute force for forgiveness. One poignant example is his response to the betrayal by Judas, demonstrating grace instead of retaliation, calling them terrible names. During his crucifixion, he prayed for forgiveness for those who persecuted him, embodying love in the midst of cruelty. He didn't come down from the cross and lord over people with human force, but chose to die for them and emphasize the power of mercy and the profound impact of choosing light over darkness, kindness over wrath, and turning the other cheek over responding with force. A timeless message that resonates across cultures and generations. In the world today, when people use the word Christian to describe themselves, perhaps we don't need to ask, what is our version of what it means to be Christian, but simply ask, what would Jesus do? He would be the light in darkness. Let's do the same. Saturday. Our next priceless gift for Saturday is, don't let anyone unnerve you. Life has no limitations except the ones you make for yourself. To maintain emotional well-being and unleash our full potential, it's crucial to cultivate resilience against external pressures and self-imposed limitations. We really only have two enemies, ourselves and others. First, practice self-awareness to identify triggers that unsettle you, allowing you to kind of get ahead of the game and manage your reactions. Develop a strong self-worth by acknowledging your achievements and unique qualities. Now, we all have them. Too often we compare ourselves to others and not compare ourselves to how we've improved over what we were the day before. I find that realizing it's not who I am, but whose I am, who I belong to, and who made me really helps me with my own self-worth. Embrace challenges as opportunities for personal development, reframing setbacks as lessons rather than failures. And we need to always cultivate a growth mindset to continue growing throughout life. And we can view setbacks as temporary obstacles rather than insurmountable barriers. We need to regularly reassess and challenge these self-imposed limitations, things that we think we can't do. Start looking at them as perhaps things we could do. And understand that personal growth often involves pushing beyond comfort zones. Who doesn't want to be comfortable? Why do we buy recliners? To be uncomfortable? No, to be comfortable. If we prioritize self-care, taking care of ourselves, fostering a good, positive mindset, the way we think about things, and maintain some strong social connections, we're not in this alone. Therefore, we can now empower ourselves to navigate challenges with certainly growing and avoiding undue influence of all these external pressures, and finally take the lid off of ourselves from these self-imposed constraints that we come up with. Sunday, our last priceless gift for this week is a legacy is simply the byproduct of a life well lived. Everyone would really like to leave a good legacy, but many times we don't understand what it is and how we get one. Well, if you look at this statement, it sort of helps break it down. It's simply we focus on the life well lived. And how do you live a life well? You do it one day at a time. That is so true in so many aspects of life. It happens one step at a time, 1 minute at a time, one experience at a time, one day at a time. So how do we do that? Think about it. Our life is spread out over a long period of time, and we can't live a life. We can only live it in little increments. So think about that when you're doing something in life. Perhaps it's in the area of relationships, taking a little time for something extra. Perhaps it's at work, and you do the little extra mile thing for your company. Perhaps it's when you're working on a project to impact the community. I think back on my life and how the various things that took place were not done all at once. It was little pieces. For instance, if you're founding a fraternity, various people come together and each person does something each day. And all of those come together eventually to form something, the vision that you're trying to produce. And you look back 50 years later and you see other people that have come to that. So the legacy happens as a byproduct as other people become involved, and through the years it continues. And you think about things like the crop walk or allied churches. I look back on that and realize that those are great legacies in our community, and so many people have a part of that. And each one, whether they're riding a bicycle or organizing churches, each one was done one step at a time. And you look back, eventually, there's a legacy. In your families and in your daily lives, you have a chance. Sometimes maybe it's at a post office or at an event just to stop for a minute. And you may not even have to say something. Or you might just offer a small word of encouragement, whatever it might be. But begin to stop looking at your whole life, but look at the little increments and think, well, I can't manage a whole life, but maybe I can manage this one moment. And as you live that moment well, you move to the next one and you focus on that one. This piece of advice would serve all of us well in so many aspects of life. And then when it's over and you look back, there is a legacy, but it's simply a byproduct. It's not something you go out and try to have. It's something that's a byproduct of a life well lived. I encourage you, particularly this time of the year, as you go through this seasonal reflection time, to just go focus on one little piece of it at a time and endeavor to live it well and not worry about any legacies. God bless you. I hope you've had a great week, and I trust that these daily doses, there's a madness to my method and a method to my madness. Which is daily, regularly, do something positive, personal, and encouraging, not only for yourselves, but for those around you. And you know what? You are now creating your legacy. God bless you. Summary. Remember, have your commitment to excellence, regardless of what you're doing in life. And know that some things take time. Be willing to invest it. Know that courtesy, that's the oil that lubricates everything about communication. Remember that everyone you meet is afraid of something, loves something, and lost something. Be there for them. That's all you have to do. And no matter how dark it gets, light is always available. Be a part of that light in this world. Don't let anyone unnerve you. Life has no limitations except the ones you allow to put on yourself. A legacy? It's just a byproduct of a life well lived. Go live it now. This is Daryl R. Peebles, the man behind the microphone, bringing you something positive each day from the Peebles Motivation Bureau, both positive, personal, and professional. Remember, there are 3 divisions: digital, real life, and print. But in the digital, we have not only the YouTube channel, but the website, Zoom events, and much more. In the real life, we do pulpit supply, funerals, weddings, magic shows, keynote speakers, and more. And in the print division, not only books, but magazine articles, newspapers, and custom artwork. Locally ordered books from me can get signatures and special discount. This one is already out and about, helping others. Churches and pastors have special discounts. I appreciate you, your ideas, and support. Keep them coming. These are other areas that I might be able to help you, and these are my contact points. This is Daily Dose of Daryl, responding to the free and gracious gift of God. I am using humor, the art of illusion, modern technology, and decades of serving God and communities to work every day to uncover the beauty in all people and experiences coming my way, endeavoring to educate, entertain, and inspire. Each dose on this channel can help move us toward a better, healthier, and more informed mind, body, and spirit. I'm excited to be a small part of the expanding of our capacity to learn, love, and forgive, and together leave this world a better place for all. God bless you.